Welcome to Backstage with Becca with special guest Vaughan Reilly. Hi everyone, and welcome to this episode of Backstage with Becca. On this episode, this New York native comes from a family with 4 generations of circus performers. She's played Young Nora in season 2 of Russian Dolls, is a series regular in the animated series Scooby Doo and the Mystery Pups and Rockoons, and at age 6 led a production of Annie as Annie. You might also have seen her as Maude Ivory in Hunger Games' Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Please welcome Vaughan Reilly. To kind of start off, I definitely want to get into how you're doing, because the past couple of weeks have been crazy for you. A whirlwind.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Sometimes my friends send me fan edits or whatever, and I'm in them, and I'm just like, oh my God, I see these on YouTube and now I'm in them. So these past few weeks have been really busy, but they've been amazing. I got to go to the screening, to the premiere, and to opening night with some of my neighbors, and it was really, really fun. And I've got I just booked another movie. I'm sorry I can't say right now because I'm not announced. And a reading in Lincoln Center for a straight play.
Oh my goodness. You're doing all the things.
Yeah, I suppose.
Every medium you're tackling like a pro. Yeah,
I'm trying.
Well, when did you realize you wanted to be an actress? And were you more interested in acting on stage or TV film when you first realized you wanted to be an actress?
Well, I've wanted to do this since before I can remember, because my mom does commercials and stuff, and she would, every time sometimes for certain projects, they'll say, oh, we want a real mother-daughter or mother-son or mother-child or whatever duo. And so sometimes I got to go to auditions with her, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is so cool. And so I begged her for years to go to auditions of my own, and I wanted to do everything. My mom had raised me on a lot of musicals like Les Mis and Dear Evan Hansen and all that, and I wanted to do everything. I would do little productions with a local studio. I was like Annie when I was 6, and I would sing "It's the Hard Knock Life" because I didn't have my 2 front teeth. But I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, and we only had time to put together a demo during the pandemic when we had nothing but time.
Yes,
because our business was kind of shut down. And she sent it to Stewart Talent, and here I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And they were probably impressed because you have such your talent is all not only with acting, but you sing too, and you play instruments, so you can do it all.
Yeah, I try to incorporate everything I can do into my work. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And it was just a voiceover demo at first, and then my agent was just like, we're gonna have her do more than that.
We're gonna show up acting.
And I suppose she was right.
Yeah. I mean, she probably saw that you could act on stage and was like, hey, you can do acting without voiceovers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to do everything, really. I like animation, I like stage, I like film and TV. It's really fun.
You don't limit yourself, which I love. And I feel
it's kind of like theater camp, but I get paid to be there, so it's really awesome.
Yes, and I'm sure you're having a blast, whether it's backstage in a stage show or behind the scenes of a huge movie like the Hunger Games prequel that you just did. So
Yeah.
I want to know. I'm gonna get a little more into theater later because I saw that you're very like into going to shows and stuff on
Oh yeah.
Instagram, which
Yeah.
I love because live theater is a special medium. But
There's no
do you
business
have
like show business.
true, true. Do you have a favorite, most memorable part of being on set of the Hunger Games?
Oh, well, that's kind of difficult because I was there for 5 weeks. um, I think what I remember the most was, do you know that scene where the Cubby's at the lake,
Yeah.
and we're like swimming with Coriolanus and all that? That day was like 65 degrees outside.
Oh my goodness.
And we were every other day, we were like in the middle of August. Every other day there in like Germany or Poland or whatever was like 95 degrees. And we're just like, oh my God, we get to go into the lake. And then we realize it's
It's
very cold.
yeah.
So we're in our bathing suits and we're just like, okay, we're going to do this. Um, and it's really not that bad. And they gave us like this little blow up hot tub that we could go in between takes. And I'm just like,
Yes.
yes. It was very worth it.
It's like switching off between the pool and the hot tub during
Yeah.
like a pool party at the beginning of September when it starts getting cold. And
Yeah.
you're like,
And you're not really aware of it.
yeah.
It's like on the cusp, on the edge of being cold, and you don't really realize until you get into the water and you're just like, this was a mistake.
Yes. How did you get the audition for the Hunger Games? How did your agent
Uh,
manager get the audition for you?
well,
And did you read the books previously? I'm like,
oh, I did read the first few books when I was like 8,
oh
which
my
probably wasn't the best decision.
goodness. No,
I was, like,
stop.
hanging around in, like, a little Japanese maple tree that we have in our backyard, and I'm just, like, reading The Hunger Games, and I don't really understand it because I'm 8 years old, and I'm just like, "Oh, they have kids kill other kids, that's nice." Um,
You're like, this is dark.
yeah. I was thinking, "Well, this is certainly different from Percy Jackson." Um,
Yep.
but well, actually not that different because there's a lot of death in Percy Jackson too, but, uh, yeah, I got through the original trilogy when I was, like, 8 or 9, and I didn't fully understand, but then I reread it and watched all the movies later, and I'm just like, "This is so good." And so I was very, very excited when my agent sent me the audition for Maude Ivory Baird, especially because she's such a musician, and
Yeah.
it's really fun for a music nerd such as myself, um, and also a Hunger Games nerd such as myself. I wanted that part so badly that it was like May around that time when I got the audition and the dandelions were starting to come out and they were getting all fluffy. So I was just like, whatever,
Yes.
whatever, every single time. And my dad, who is very, very into his garden, made me promise that I would not blow any dandelions into our yard because those are weeds, apparently.
Oh my, well, I feel like that's like very on brand for like for the character of Maude Ivory, like even to
Yeah.
go into the garden and to get dandelions and be get like flowers and stuff and
So,
be
like,
picking them up and
whimsical
blowing.
and, like, innocent in this dark, dark world.
Yeah, it's very on brand. It's very like I'm gonna find all the happiness
Yeah.
that I can find and appreciate nature and
Yeah.
like I mean speaking of the lake, like appreciate what's outside rather than like limit myself to what's inside and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you get to like bring musical instruments into the audition or
Um, well, they sent 2 scenes, for the audition, one of which was used in the movie, the other one was cut out. Um, And I was on Zoom with my acting coach, because I was just like, Dina, I need your help with this. I really wanted that. I really wanted that part. So she said, okay, we are going to, she added a lot of things to the beginning of the audition. When I'm like, when Maude Ivory like hops onto the stage in the hob, and she's just like, "Well, is it on here, District 12," and all that. And so she had me bring out my guitar, and I was and like strum a chord or two, and like sing a little to myself, and then like turn around. She had me put on a cowboy hat, like toss it out to the crowd. We did a lot.
Did you kind of feel like a country superstar during that time?
A little bit, a little folky.
Yeah, like folk. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, you're like singing for a crowd in there on set, so like also you get like the applause and stuff.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like one of the final Hobbs scenes, I remember, we were singing Sunnyside, and they used the recording with another girl for the original cut. Um, but they said, Vaughn, you're gonna sing it live a few times. I did not know this until I like stepped on set. They're just like, Vaughn, you're gonna sing Sunnyside, and I didn't know this. Um, so I kind of went on. They took off my drum, and I started singing the song, and like the dancers were like doing their thing, kicking up the coal dust in there. And then when I was done, I got like all this applause after they yelled cut, and I was just like,
Oh my goodness. So they didn't tell you that like they were recording you singing live at all.
no. Well, we had to be very secretive with it because there's a lot of fan base, and we couldn't post
That's
anything really, unless we were very, very vague with where we were, because we got in trouble otherwise. Because fans would be showing up at the hotel that we were at, and we were just like, so
yeah,
it was all very secretive to the cast, because if the cast doesn't know, then the fans can't know. Um,
social media
so
spreads like wildfire.
yeah,
Yep.
especially new surprising things.
Oh my goodness, especially when there's a prequel for a movie as big as the Hunger Games series.
Yeah,
So, yes.
I
So
still can't believe I did that.
I mean, well, you did, and it's like number one.
I
It's
know.
been so it's I mean, huge congrats. Um,
Thank you.
so what is the rehearsal process like or preparation process like for a movie? Because I feel like you've had experience doing theater stuff and it's
Yeah,
a completely different ball game.
yeah, it's very
On
different.
set
It's a
movie
very different
side.
structure with the schedule and all that. Well, we get a call sheet, um, saying, okay, we need the covey for, I'm just using examples here. We're gonna need Maude Ivory, Barb Azure, and Lucy Gray, say, for this scene on this day. And then they'll give us like the sides, and they're all printed out and stuff. And like you go over it like a few days before. Um, and sometimes you will arrive and to the set, and you'll rehearse for a few times, and then we would just get into it. I mean, some of the scenes we didn't rehearse it at all, and it was very surprising. Um, yeah, but we really got straight to business, and we didn't waste any time. We just had a lot to do because it's a really long movie. You know, it's like
3 hours.
over 2.5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, imagine what the Avatar people had to do.
Oh my gosh. You are
Yeah.
right. You are definitely right. Did the
Yeah.
cast like bond with each other very quickly on set? Because I feel like, especially during like the lake scene, there's a certain
Yeah.
chemistry that you see with everyone, and
Yeah.
it just looks like a bunch of friends who've known
Yeah.
each other for their whole entire lives hanging out.
Yeah. Um, well, we were kind of all over the place. Um, we were in Germany, we were in Poland, we were back in Germany, we were back in Poland, and not a lot of people, it turns out, in Germany and Poland speak English too well. So the cast were kind of like our little bubble of English cast and crew. So we kind of had each other, and some locations were really, really remote. And so that the people in the cast and in the crew were literally the only people we could spend time with. Like in the Polish countryside, where me and Honor, who plays Barb Azure, and Ika, who plays Tam Amber, we would have like dinner together because there was only one restaurant
Oh my
in the hotel we were at, and we didn't have a car, so we couldn't get anywhere for groceries. And yeah, we bonded really quickly because like you have to work your butts off with these people, and it's like it's a really immediate bond, and it's really sweet. It's kind of like with theater people too. It's like
Yes.
a little family, and it's so sweet.
Oh my gosh, it definitely is. Like the theater community, I'm sure, as
Yeah,
you know, is so like it's big, but it's also very small. And like
yeah,
I'm in LA and people from LA know people from New York and vice versa. It's
of course.
crazy.
It
Yeah.
is kind of crazy. Well, that's probably because most theater people will talk to anyone within a 500-mile radius.
Oh yeah. And I mean
Like very outgoing people.
social media I think really helps bring everyone together as well. Like
Yeah.
there's good things about social media while there are like bad things about social media,
Yeah.
there's great things also.
Every cloud has a silver lining,
Oh
and
yes,
vice
so
versa.
many silver linings. So do you have a favorite fan reaction or fan theory that you've read about the
Wow.
Hunger Games? I've read a
Well,
couple about your character.
well, definitely, I love the theory that Maude Ivory is Katniss's ancestor. I do not know it for sure, but I kind of hope it's true because it would be so awesome to be related, quote unquote, to Jennifer Lawrence. Um, yeah, like that Katniss, the Everdeens or Covey. I think it makes a lot of sense because Katniss is very musical, like with like the Deep in the Meadow song and the Hanging Tree and all that. And I feel like it would be passed down through the family, the Hanging Tree song, because Lucy Gray wrote it.
Yep.
So yeah, that would be a really cool theory to be true. So
Yes. Oh my goodness. If you so if you could play any other character in any of the Hunger Games movies, who would you
ah,
choose to play?
well, um, oh, that's such a hard question because all of the characters are so good. If I were like way older, like if I were an adult, I would definitely want to be Effie Trinket because she's so fun, and there's no way I could top Elizabeth Banks, but she would be so fun to play with, like the very prim and proper, and she's like a little rainbow in the grim of District 12, and she's like
Yes.
so smiley about everything, and it's
She's
amazing.
so like I feel like you watch the movie and it's so dark, and then Effie comes along and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, there's the light in the movie.
There's the flouncy,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. How would you convince people who are fans of the Hunger Games to see this prequel? That I mean, it's not having much trouble with attendance.
No.
It's doing so good, and I think people are seeing it multiple times too. I know my roommates did.
Oh,
Um,
really?
they just, yep, my roommates went for the second time the other day, like 2 days ago.
I
Yeah.
guess that I guess they liked it then.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. They were
Yeah.
singing the songs the other night.
Um, if I had to convince people, I would say um it's very loyal to the book, the adaptation, because that could get a lot of nerds in there.
Yes.
Um, they love book loyalty. And I think it's like so well done. Like Francis Lawrence does such a great job. Suzanne Collins did such a great job. Rachel Zegler did amazing. She has the voice of an angel. She's an amazing actress. Tom Blythe, Josh Rivera. I mean, everyone involved in it is magnificent. So it's like really satisfying to see such a well done movie. And I feel like I'm bragging right now, but I'm not.
No, I mean, you should brag about it because it's a masterpiece of a movie. Like I listen, I can't get my dad to see many movies with me, but he thoroughly enjoyed that movie when we saw it. So it's hard to convince my dad to go see a movie nowadays.
Oh
But
wow. That sounds like my grandma. She'll like
but
she'll complain about the movie after she said she loved it. And she'll fall asleep in the middle. My grandma said she liked it.
Yes.
Which I kind of hope she would, because she's my grandma.
Yes. You won her over.
Yes.
So, do you have any dream role to play? Like, I'm gonna say on stage in the future, like on a Broadway stage. Let's manifest.
If Beetlejuice comes back, Lydia Dietz.
Yes.
She's so fun. I really love that character. I loved the original movie. I really, really loved the show when it came on Broadway and I got to see it. Yeah, she's like a really fun, interesting character. Her songs are really, really fun to sing, even though they're very, very hard.
Oh yeah.
But what on Broadway isn't, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, you sing live in the Hunger Games movie, so I think you can do it.
Thank you.
I feel like you can definitely, absolutely do it. Who inspires you in the acting world as an actor, actress, whether it's theater or in film and TV?
Oh, that is a very, very good question. This is a very hard question because there's so many people out there. Inspires me. Okay. Oh, well, my mom, first of all. She's such an inspiration. She's fellow thespian and all that. She
Hey.
used to be a dancer. She was
Oh.
in the circus. She's working on a circus show right now, not performing, but crew and such.
Wow.
So for people I don't know, like famous people, that's really hard because there's like so many people worth admiring.
There are a ton of people. And I mean, I feel like you got to like work with so many talented people behind the scenes of Hunger Games, that like so many iconic people too.
Yeah.
So you're probably getting inspiration from them every day, and they were probably
Very much.
getting inspiration from you too, because I mean, you're still so young, but you're such a professional.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. Well, kind of going off that, to start wrapping up, do you have any advice for young actors in the industry?
I would say, definitely just go for it. You never know what opportunities might present yourself, and even if you're afraid of certain opportunities, I think you should give it a chance because it can lead to such amazing things.
Yes, like never say no.
Never say no.
Expand all your options. Like look at all your options and
never say no, because a lot of people are going to say no for you. This business is full of rejection, and you can't let it get you down. You need to appreciate the jobs you do get and just like have the most fun with them that you can.
yes, I mean that's a good way to look at everything.
Yeah.
Hey, rejection, I can't imagine going through hearing that. but like looking at the bright side is so cool.
Yeah. I mean, in this kind of business, when you get an audition, you don't expect to book it. You kind of expect to never hear from it again. And on the chance that you do hear from it again, then, well, it's really awesome.
Then it's like you're like, okay, I did my job. They like me. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an honor. So, do you have anything that you'd want to promote? I know you do voiceover work,
Yeah.
and are you doing that you like can promote that you're allowed to promote?
I'm not allowed to promote anything at the moment. But I can promote Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Yes,
Which
yes.
I've kind of been doing this entire time. But
yeah. Um, First of all, where can people follow you on social media?
oh, you can follow me on Instagram, Vaughan VAUGHAN _ Reilly REILLY.
Okay, and then also for like a little last minute teaser in the interview, what is your personal favorite scene in the Hunger Games prequel?
I would say my favorite scene is, I'd say, the one where Dr. Gall drops the pit of snakes into the arena, and Lucky Flickerman's just like, that cannot be good. Wouldn't it be funny if there was candy in there and then it explodes and he's just like, that's not candy.
No.
I loved Lucky Flickerman. He was among one of my favorite characters.
Brings humor a little.
Yeah.
It's like dark humor, but
dark world.
But humor to the crazy.
He's kind of Effie Trinket-ish because he's like kind of flouncy as well. He's just like,
yes.
Well, he's very showy. He's very theater-ish, and I think that's why
it is very theater-ish, yeah. And Effie is very theater-ish. Like if there was a musical, I feel like Effie would be like,
yes,
Effie would be a great lead.
She would be a fantastic.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
Thank you for having me. Oh my gosh.
Of course, I'm honored to have you on, and I can't wait to continue watching all the magnificent things that you do in the acting world. And I mean, you're going to inspire so many people, I think. So,
thank you so much.
Thanks for watching this episode of Backstage with Becca B. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV. Or for more exclusive content from this interview and more, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Backstage with Becca B. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Or if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and give me a 5-star rating. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!